Could the Chicago Bears be in the market for a less bigger name in terms of edge rushing? Could this man be a cheaper trade target and a cheaper contract than Max Crosby, and certainly more affordable for the Bears? Let's find out on the other side. Good morning, Chicago. Welcome to the UK. I'm Owen W. James. This is your UK take on all things Chicago Bears, guys. It is the off-season. I know the Super Bowl is coming up on Sunday. I know the Seahawks take on the Patriots. Difficult to know who to want to win that one, I guess. Probably the Seahawks. I don't really like the Patriots. Look, it is a situation where we have no Bears football now until September, or competitive Bears football until September. We've got to just wait. So it's all off season, it's trade talk, it's draft talk, it's all this business obviously ongoing over the next few months. Now, the Bears badly need pass rush help. Let's get that clear from the outset. You know, yes, Montez Sweat got his 10 sacks last season, but in terms of sacks, the Bears defense certainly didn't bring the pass rush, and realistically could have definitely done with it down the stretch. I think it would have made a big difference. Sweat obviously is the main guy. He gets double teamed a lot. Dayo Adeyingbo was brought in. Obviously got injured after only 8 games. Never really, obviously, managed to fulfill what we hoped he would be. There's even talk, obviously, of moving Dayo Adeyingbo inside this coming season and using him as an interior defenseman rather than as a edge rusher. Who knows? His contract is pretty horrific, though, for the upcoming season. Now, Kayvon Thibodeaux obviously brought the pass rush, was probably the second most reliable man after Montez Sweat. Maybe as well, you know, give Austin Booker a full preseason and obviously no injury at the end of that preseason and then a full season. Maybe Austin Booker brings something better and if he can play a full 17 games. But you know what, the jury is still firmly out on Austin Booker. But behind Austin Booker and Montez Sweat, there is realistically not a lot of depth there to the edge rusher position. Now, the Bears have been linked, of course, with all the big names. Free agent Trey Hendrickson, a trade for Raiders edge rusher Max Crosby, with Crosby coming out the other day and saying that he wants to play on a contender. The Bears certainly are that. However, the Bears' cap is not healthy. We do not have a massive amount of cap space. We are not going into this off-season with oodles and oodles of dollars to spend. And therefore, you know, perhaps making it, unless Ryan Poles can do some pretty amazing magic with the cap in terms of contract restructures, in terms of cap casualties, in terms of trades, generate a lot of cap space. So, could the Bears perhaps look beyond a Hendrickson or a Crosby or even a Khalil Mack to some extent as well and go for someone who maybe would cost a little bit less contract-wise and also, you know, could be a player who could, with the right coaching and the right fitness work, become back to where he was when he first came in to the NFL. Of course, Thibodeaux, who is currently a trade candidate for a number of teams. Now, the thing with Thibodeaux is, yes, he did miss a lot of last season with injury. And injuries have hit recent seasons. So obviously, you have got that slight risk with him. But then again, Hendrickson's been out, obviously injured. Now, the Giants have Brian Burns and Abdul Carter as edge rushers, and Thibodeaux is kind of been pushed out of it. He has 1 year left on his contract. He is a former first-round pick as well. He was picked very early in his draft by the New York Giants. Bleacher Report, Alex Ballantyne has tabbed Thibodeaux as one of Chicago's top trade candidates this season. This is what Ballantyne wrote in his article. He said, if taking on Crosby's massive contract would be an issue, then a player like Kayvon Thibodeaux would also be a good target. Brian Burns and Abdul Carter are the clear 1-2 punch in New York. Obviously, Thibodeaux came into the NFL in 2022. He registered 49 tackles, 4 sacks, and a couple of forced fumbles and a pair of fumble recoveries during his rookie campaign. He then, obviously, the next season appeared to break out, registering 50 tackles and 11.5 sacks in 2023. Certainly seemed to be developing and maturing. Since then, obviously, he's had a lot of injuries, which have obviously held him back. He missed the first 5 games in 2024 due to a wrist injury, and this season was sidelined for the last 7 games by a shoulder injury. Over the last 2 seasons, he has totaled just 8 sacks. But he could be a prime trade candidate, someone who could be got for relatively cheaply, given the fact that he's entering the last year of his contract, given the fact that the Giants are rebuilding under their new head coach. And are looking to get back to winning ways. The New York Football Giants, certainly when I was growing up, were always a team to be feared. These days, they're somewhat of a laughingstock. So could Thibodeaux be on the trade block? I mean, let's have a little look, shall we, at Kayvon Thibodeaux's stats as to, him as a edge rusher and him as, in terms of his build, who he is, what he is. Like I said, could this be a cheaper option? Someone who the Bears could bring in who could still have impact and could be put into that rotation. Thibodeaux is 25 years old, so certainly is not an old guy, still obviously learning his game, still obviously developing, coming into his prime now. He's 6'5", 258 pounds. He attended Oaks Christian High School and then went to college at Oregon. He was a first-round pick, 5th overall in 2022, so was clearly very highly rated coming out of college. He's been with the Giants ever since. Had a number of awards and highlights, obviously, during his time in college. None, obviously, with the Giants, who have pretty much sucked ever since. In terms of, him as games played, he played 14 in his rookie season, 17 in 2023. When he is fully fit, he clearly can produce, as that 2023 campaign shows. 12 in 2024 and 10 in 2025. He's played 53 total games in the NFL. You go over his sack numbers: 4 sacks in his initial season, 11.5, 5.5, and a 2.5 in this last season. 2 forced fumbles in his rookie year, 3 in his breakout year, 1 and then 0. So again, production has tailed off, but it's that 2023 campaign when he was kept fully fit and he had impact that shows what Thibodeaux can bring. 50 total tackles, which break down as 26 solos, 24 assisted, 11.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery that year, along with 4 passes defensed as well by the big defensive end. So is this someone the Bears could move for? Look, there is going to be multiple speculations about who the Bears may want. And I think, as much as we would all love to see a Max Crosby arrive in Chicago, or a Trey Hendrickson even arrive in Chicago, we've got to temper our ambitions with the fact that cap space is quite clearly not there at this moment in time. Guys, what do you think? Kayvon Thibodeaux? Like I said, I think he could be got for even a day 2 pick. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is Thibodeaux someone you'd like to see in a Bears uniform next season? Thank you for watching the Bears Huddle podcast. If you've enjoyed the content, please like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe to the channel. Help us to grow our UK to US community. Catch you next time. Bear down.